Tammy. How are you
Good,
tonight?
good evening, Mayor Ronnie. I'm wonderful. How are you?
I am doing good. Thanks for co-hosting the show tonight. I think this is your first time. So
Yes.
as we get started, kind of introduce yourself if you would.
Okay.
I know you enjoy working at the chamber right now. I think.
I do. Yes, I am Tammy Johnson Blunt, the membership coordinator at the Rolesville Chamber of Commerce. I've been there since April of this year, working along with our director, Philip Carter. So, yes, and I have enjoyed all that I've been doing at the chamber, meeting with wonderful business owners, just the people in the community. So, it's been an awesome experience.
Yeah. Is this the first time you've worked with a chamber?
Yes, it is. I have over 30 years of experience in retail. I own my own business as well. I'm a fashion consultant, but this is the first time ever working for a chamber.
Well, good, good. What is different about it that you've seen so far?
Being able to meet so many business owners, being able to assist them in promoting their business, the nonprofits, promoting their vision, being able to just connect and network so much. The board, as well, the way that they, do all that they can to promote, in the community, to see these businesses and nonprofits flourish, making connections with them. So that's, a lot different than working in the retail field. We don't have that type of interaction. Yes, I have interaction with people, but not on the same level as at the chamber.
Well, good, good. Um, what's I know there's a lot of things being happening in Rolesville. We know we just had the Fall Fest back in October, and I think that went, very well. And a big turnout from that. So what did you see going on? What's been happening at the chamber?
Oh, wow. For us, we're excited because we've got the Christmas parade coming up on Sunday, December 1st. That's going to take place at 2 p.m. It's coming up Main Street. So people are excited. You've got the floats and the different groups and nonprofits marching. So everybody is really excited and looking forward to that. And then we've got the Breakfast with Santa. That is going to be on Saturday, December 7th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. It's going to be held at the Roseville Masonic Lodge at 207 Pulley Street. So there's going to be activities for the children, from what I understand. So that's going to be great. And all the benefits are going to go toward the uh, backpack association, the Northeast Wake Backpack Buddies. It's going to be so, which is an excellent cause, to assist with food insecurity with the children. So it's an awesome cause, and we hope everybody comes out for that Breakfast with Santa. It's $7 per person, or you can bring your family for $20 for a delicious breakfast. And then we are very excited because this is going to be the first time that we partnered with the Wake Forest Chamber. So on Tuesday, December 17th, from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., we have what's called the morning grind. We have the business owners come together, they network, they get a chance to have a cup of coffee. You're able to grab your donut, your pastry, what have you, and just be able to interact with other business owners, find out how you can assist one another, get some tips from one another. So that's going to take place again on Tuesday, December 17th from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. The host is going to be the Sign Craft Solutions, Pam Frazier. She's the owner of that business, and that's located at 4154 Sharon Farms in Wake Forest. It's Suite 109. So we're asking everybody, we've had some awesome turnouts at our morning grind. So we're asking everybody to please come out to the morning grind.
Well, great, great. It's a lot. Christmas is coming up, holidays, Thanksgiving, all the holiday season is coming up. Are you ready for it, Tammy?
I am. I really am. I love it. I'm a big kid at Christmas time. I love to go around looking at the Christmas lights. And this year, first time grandma, so I've got the grandbaby, with me.
Oh,
So go out. Yeah, I'm just going to get a big kick out of that. But I love it and watching his eyes light up and he gets excited. So it's a
Yeah,
lot.
that ought to be really fun. Yeah, I have three. So
Oh,
the oldest one is 3. And
okay.
so, this is this, I guess, third Christmas, but it is it's a big change when you have grandchildren and
Yes.
Christmas time. And the town's got a big Christmas event coming up on December the 2nd.
Mhm.
Um, Actually, that's on a Monday night, I think.
Mhm.
It's from 5 to 8. Um, it's really uh, it's really what we call the Christmas tree lighting, or the holiday tree lighting. And really, it's the first time we've done like this. We've done, I don't know how many years we've been lighting a holiday tree, but it's been a long, long time. But this year is more of a ceremony. We'll feature lighting we got a 14-foot tree we're going to be lighting. We'll be reading the night before Christmas carol story, and a performance from Rolesville Elementary Chorus, as well as pictures with Santa, uh, family activities, snow flurries, and all those things. And we're going to have some food trucks there. So the time frame, Tammy, is 5 o'clock, family activities, pictures, Santa stuff. 6 p.m. would be Rose Elementary performance. 6:15 be the tree lighting. 6:30 is reading the night before Christmas, and then 7:30 Alheim Association luminary lighting of some lights. And it's going to be a great. This is the first time we've had expanded event like this in the park. We've done the lighting up at the Main Street Park. This was at Rayford Place Park, the bigger park. So pretty excited. It'll be first time. Hope we have a good turnout for that. So I kind of want to get that out there. And I know we'll have a big turnout for the parade. And I think the parade is the weekend, the Sunday after this lighting. So
It's awesome. We're looking forward to it. It's a wonderful time of year, as the song says, and you look
yeah,
forward to all of the activities. It's going to be great. I'm
yeah.
looking forward to it all. It'll be my first year here working in Roseville, with all of this. So I'm excited to see it all transpire.
Yeah, I am too. And right now is Veterans Month, so we did some veterans activities this past week. Monday was Veterans Day, and had a ceremony and stuff there on 11 o'clock. Went really well. Good participation there. They actually had a lunch for the veterans, and great time. And we're going to have a couple of veteran-related people on tonight talk about veterans. And the first one is retired Lieutenant Colonel Claude Clark. Um, Tammy, if you want to start bringing him in, that'd be great. And we
Well,
can talk a little.
yes.
There he is. Hey, Colonel. How you doing tonight?
Hey,
Um,
good to
yeah,
be here. Thanks for having me.
I'm excited to have you on. I was telling Tammy a little bit about, we kind of focusing on veterans this month, November, and excited to have you on. Talk a little bit about. I guess what you do is not really veterans, but it may be future veterans, and you just supplying the pipeline, for the program, for our national program and stuff, and I imagine it's pretty exciting work. If you want to, if you don't mind, just start off with an introduction. Introduce yourself and tell us who you are.
Oh, thanks a lot, Mr. Mayor. Thanks for having me on here. Good evening. My name is Claude Clark, and I am the NJROTC Area 6 Manager. What does that mean? I have schools within North Carolina and Virginia. Right now, I'm currently at 30 schools, which is my max. And we are in the high schools, and we service the grades of 8 to 12, primarily 9 to 12, but we also have some programs that have 8th grade also.
Yeah. So, how did you get? How did that come about? How did you get involved with that? I mean, as a retired, military colonel, how many years you serve in the military?
Yes, sir. I had 23 total, 20 of active duty. I'm a Marine Corps veteran. When I got out of the Marine Corps, it was time to go. Did not know what I was going to do. I heard about the programs. People recommended me to the program. I did not think I would stay in the program. Ended up teaching in the classroom for 8 years before I became a
Wow.
manager of the program. And I saw the benefits of the program firsthand and what they did. I have 3 sons. All 3 of them spent time in the program. and I am a believer in what it does for your future.
Right. I guess as a retired, colonel, military, you had a lot of options. You see you guys on TV now, y'all on all these news programs and
Mhm.
everything, talking about not veterans, but military stuff. So you had a lot of options. I guess to do what you do, you kind of enjoy, the connection with the young people. Is that kind of, do you have a passion for that? Is that a little bit of it there?
Well, yes, sir. Everybody in the military, at certain points in their career, you're looked upon as that mentor. You start off, you're in receive mode. But as you get a little bit older, now you're learning what you're doing, and your job is to bring the next group up to speed and also be that mentor for them. But then as you start getting a little older, and then you start, having kids of your own, and you're looking back at the younger people, and as you get a little older, everybody starts getting younger and younger and younger. You want to make sure that you can take that message to as many people as you can. You never think when you're second lieutenant starting out that you'll ever get old and too tired to go out there and run with the Marines in the morning. But I realized that 44, I can't keep up anymore. But I still want to be on the team. And getting back into the high schools gave me an opportunity to continue to really serve. When I say serve my country, a little bit of a different message, but also still reaching the young people. So it was kind of a natural transition for me. Um, as we spoke a little earlier, I'm all about teams. Played a lot of football, played a lot of baseball, a lot of team sports. I joined the Marine Corps. It was a really big, successful team. I felt good about it. It gave me purpose, and I felt as though I was part of something bigger than me. Well, when you retire, that team is gone. It's nice to get the check in the mail, but you still feel kind of bad. Like, where's that team at? And then you see these young folks in the school. A lot of these young folks aren't on, like, let's say, the football team or the debate team, but there's a team for them, and that's what we do there. We fill in that gap, and we also complement what goes on in the schools. So I'm part of a gigantic team that still circles the globe. We have schools in the Far East, we have schools in Spain, we have schools in Italy, 600 plus schools in the United States. So it's all a big team working together to get better.
Yeah, and I think that translates over into the military. I think I saw on some program last few days. It kind of reminded me thinking about that when you said team. They said one of the strengths of the military is unity,
Mm-hmm.
and the unity is what makes them so strong. Can you describe that a little bit? What is it about unity that in the military that really brings out the military? I guess.
Well, let me just, like the Navy, and we know Navy Marine Corps team, right? The ether, that honor, courage, and commitment, right? Those aren't just words. Those are things that we live by. But in order to live by them, we got to know what they mean, and know what they mean not just for us as individuals, but how we relate to other people. A big thing about that is that respect of oneself, and that respect of one's purpose. If you feel good about what you do, then you're going to feel good about, the world that you live in. And then people will see that. And then when you feel good respect towards yourself, you know how to respect others. The key to that, in our opinion, is that once you know what respect is, you will not allow others to disrespect you. You will command that respect. And that is what we consider that development of a young person. We want that to be the complete person. And what we talk about in the military as the honor of one's country, or honor of one's community, honor of oneself, honor of one's parents or relatives, traditions, the courage to be yourself. It doesn't matter what everybody says. We got this thing called what? These phones, the internet, that tells us that this is what you should think. You must think for yourself. The courage to think for yourself. And then you commit yourself. Commit yourself to what? What your beliefs are, what your feelings are. The ability to talk to others, to get from others, but also to give to others. We so hardly talk about our community involvement, because it gives that person a grounding when you feel part of something. And if I may go on just a little bit more, that one of the biggest strengths of our program is that we show that our children, our cadets, that maybe your part is small, but when we combine them with 10, 15, 20 other people doing the same thing, we can move great things together, and we can pick and lift each other up. It's just motivating to see the kids get excited about it.
Yeah, I bet. And you were saying, you teach all this stuff, and it's kind of military related, junior ROTC and all. But you're not required to go into the military. I mean, it's something that you can take with you the rest of your life, right?
Glad you pointed that out, Mr. Mayor. So there is no service obligation, nothing, by taking our NJROTC. We have 4 levels of it. We have NJROTC 1 through 4. You can do ROTC for 4 years. What does that count for? And in some schools, it counts for a PE credit. Other schools, it counts for a CTE credit. Bottom line is you get credit for it. Now, if you decide you want to join the military, then there's some incentives. When I say incentives, a little push up on rank. So you won't come in as an E1, you'll come in as an E2, and you'll have some experience. But our main focus is to set young folks up for success in the future. Now, you talk about military things we teach during the class: seamanship, meteorology, navigation. But why do we do that? We push that to make sure that we are relevant in the STEM world. We want to make sure that we're not just talking about, doing drill. We're not just talking about following orders. We want a thinking person. We want to see how all this fits together. So in a lot of our schools, we have direct tie-ins with the math department and the science department, because as you know, meteorology and seamanship and all these things, they touch on a lot of core educational areas. So we kind of look at ourselves as a bridge between a lot of different classes, but at the same exact time, we're small in structure that allows us to personalize care and attention. Citizenship development is our big overall umbrella, but underneath that umbrella is the individual, right? Place for everybody to succeed.
Yeah, that's good. And you were saying you want, a thinking person, a thinking person. But I would think, and my son, I had 2 sons. One of them did band in high school, and one of them did the junior ROTC program. And I would think also not only thinking, but also it develops them into a well-rounded individual, doesn't it? I don't know. How can you describe what that looks like?
Well, the thing about it is that, we're not that single focus, right? What we're taking into account is that you have kids from all different backgrounds and all different ability levels. What we understand is that we can all learn from each other's strengths and we can lift each other up, right? So, we have these different areas, like I talked about seamanship, or I talked about meteorology, but then also talk about the fact that some of our students have the ability to bring some of their outside talents into our organization itself. What I mean by that, one of our units actually has their own NJROTC course. So at their annual military inspection, their own performers from the course, from the unit itself, come out there and sing during the performance. We want to be inclusive of all. And that's what I like about ROTC is that, we have our approved literature that we have, our books that we promote, that we teach out of, our curricula that is approved by the United States. We also have the latitude and the leeway to bring in current events as well as what is a priority at that school. So we're able to touch upon a lot of different subjects and at the same time bring a lot of relevance to what's going on today.
Yeah, it's so broad you can't even pull it all together in 20 minutes like we have to talk about here. It's just huge. But let's talk about you. I understand you have like 30 schools or something. You manage the instructors, you manage the teachers, the people that in the schools that does the program. And I think one of the things, our high school here in Rolesville is now been open 11 years, I think, and it doesn't have a junior ROTC program. We've been trying to figure out as a community how we could help and assist that, and I think we're getting close. In fact, I believe we're going to supposed to start a cadet program in the fall. What is the difference? Describe, a lot of people, I don't know, what is a cadet program and how is that different than the junior ROTC program?
Oh, great question. So let's talk about it. So what's the end benefit? Really closely the same, right? All the opportunities for scholarships, as well as for appointments, as well as for additional monetary, compensation if you join the military, are available through both units. The big difference is the requirements of the national JROTC program and the NNDC program are that in the national program, you're required to have 2 instructors, and the United States Navy pays you for having 2 instructors. In the cadet program, you are required to only have 1 instructor, but the local school district is responsible for all the pay for that instructor, right? In the national program, the equipment, when I say equipment, that's mainly uniforms, but as well as the flags, national ensigns, things like that, trophies, things like that, shoes, all the equipment that you would need to run the program, projectors, computers, that's all provided by the United States Navy. In the National Cadet Corps unit, which we're looking at for Rolesville, they will furnish all those costs initially up front. If I may go a step further, the idea is that as you grow the unit, eventually the Cadet Corps will grow into a full-blown National JROTC, National Naval JROTC unit. We generally start the Cadet Corps at around 50 cadets. The idea is to grow that to around 100. We ideally want to be at least 10% of the school's population, or 100 cadets, whatever that number that is, somewhere in there, a healthy program. And you might ask, why 100? 100's key is because it allows us the ability to assign the cadets jobs within the program. So we have a cadet structure that comes down. We have a cadet commander, cadet executive officer, supply, administration, logistics, and these departments that allow for the leadership, that part of that leadership development, that leadership, and then that subordinate leadership command understanding, and it goes all the way down. So as we grow the program, if you kind of think of it as a 5-year plan or a 4-year plan, we literally like a 5-year plan. Those first-year cadets kind of are the plank holders that come in here and get it established, right? Those first 50. And then we start adding on additional. We get to that 100, then we have those with cadets that have the experience, the training, and the knowledge to start administering the program. Ideally, at that 4 or 5-year mark, the cadets are running the program. I say the program, the departments, with the senior leadership, i.e. the adult instructors, providing that oversight. Real fast, how do we get there? We marry up these new units with an existing unit to make sure that they have the training to get them started. So you're not just coming in cold. Part of my responsibility as the area manager is to make sure that I am there to assist the school in the startup process. That includes making sure they have the right uniforms, making sure they have the right equipment. If they ask me, making sure they they understand who the right type of person to hire. Because people say we want experience. Experience isn't always good. Sometimes it's good to have a fresh slate for everybody. So I assist wherever I can to make sure we have the right person for the task. With that, we then make sure that the kids understand what their requirements are, and we have a lot of policies, the Navy, that provides to them as far as direction, leadership, and guidance on how to run the program professionally. But let's get that excitement started about it and get the kids involved and engaged. We have a lot of things to offer, but as you know, you have to be able to tell your story. And that's where Big Navy still comes in, and we provide lots of publications to inform the community of what we're doing.
Great. Well, Lieutenant Colonel, let me ask you this. If we're supposed to start the program in the fall of 2025, I think.
Yes, you
when
are.
the school comes back. And is it a Navy-related program, I think? Is that what it is, or Army?
No, it's Navy. It's going to be Navy.
It's a Navy.
Army, but we got you. We got Rolesville, so it's Navy.
Yeah. Okay. Navy. That's what I was thinking.
Yes, sir.
So if you are a parent and you have a kid coming, be at Rolesville, what do you tell them? What is it that they ask, what is this program about? What do you tell them?
One, we are not a recruiting source. We don't get any additional money benefits if anybody joins, if anybody doesn't join. What we are here for is to understand that in this country, citizenship development, when I say that, that's a broad term, but what we're talking about, those values, those feelings, that making a child feel included and making a person be able to operate at their highest potential. How do we do that? Because we do those processes that are going to encourage them to go out and get out of their comfort zone. What do I tell a parent? I tell a parent to come out, take a look at our parent night, come take a look at our open house, come in here and see, where does our programs take you? What do I mean by that? We look at our tenets of how the program is built, and we realize physical fitness. We talk about that. We talk about healthy eating. We talk about that. We talk about healthy relationships. We talk about that. We talk about naval subjects. Yes, we do. Seamanship, things like that, meteorology, things like that. But in the beginning, on the first year, we're talking about why we do what we do. Parents look at us and say, "You got my kid marching around like a robot, left, right, left, right." What's the point of drill? All it is to teach us how to work together in a group, for us to form that camaraderie and that bond. We go beyond that. Why do we talk about the rules of the Navy? Why do we talk about the code of conduct, things like that? Because in society, there's always going to be rules. Let's understand the rules, but more importantly, why do we have them, right? It's just a rule to be a rule. No, there's a reason behind it. And we want them to understand why we do what we do, to instill that esprit de corps, to instill that good feeling about oneself, to oneself. What I tell parents all the time about ROTC, as a parent of three young men, 22, 19, 16. Like I said, all three of them went through it. They did have a choice, kind of, but they did spend time in there. And I can tell you this much, as far as making them confident, looking somebody in the eye, shaking their hand, having the ability to focus, having the ability to direct your thoughts, having the ability to have the confidence to tell your story. And what I mean, and when I say that is, I tell kids all the time, we cannot control where you came from, but you can control your attitude and your effort, and that will take you to where you need to get to. And that's what we do.
That's great. Well, 20 minutes go by really, really fast when we're talking about some good stuff like this, for sure. I think Tammy will be coming back in time. But one of the things I want to ask before you go, as a community, this is, we're trying to get the word out. I think the show tonight is one of the first things we're trying to get ready for next fall. Get it out to the community. Get it out that the program is coming. What other suggestions you have for us in the community that we haven't said yet? What can I do? What can the community do to help the program?
Just know that we're going to be out there in the community. That's one of the big things about the community. That's one thing about citizenship development program, because we are here to serve the community. The community is what gives us our support. Because when we go out there and get that color guard going in those Veterans Day parades and things like that, and you're seeing those young folks understand the importance of what they're doing and that pride of community, and that's y'all's folks. Those are y'all's young folks out there doing it. That's going to bring that community together. I mean, I know you got a good football team. I got it. But at the same exact time, we all can't play football. We're all not going to be the best basketball. We're all not going to be cheerleaders. We can be superstars in ROTC, and we're going to put them kids out front.
That's great. I see Tammy's back. Tammy, do you have a question for Lieutenant Colonel, or is there any questions from any of the in the community come in?
I don't see any questions from the community, but I just want to say thank you for all that you do, investing the time, in our young people, to bring them up to their greatness. What you do is very encouraging. And both of my sons did 1 year of the ROTC. And we have two other veterans in the family, my brother and my dad. So, but just to watch how they transformed, in that short amount of time in the ROTC. They didn't continue with the service, but just to see how it impacted their lives. So, and thank you for what you do, instilling all that you do into the lives of these young people in the ROTC. It means a lot.
Thank you so much. I know Mr. Mayor told me my 20 minutes is up, but like I tell people, give us a shot.
Yeah.
It's not, just because you sign up, you're not stuck there. You don't got to do 4 years. What you can learn in 1 year is still beneficial for the rest of your time in school as well as in life. Success breeds success, and we know we can do that in Rolesville.
Yeah, and I guess one last thought before we bring on the next guest is if you're thinking about the military, though, if you're thinking about, you may want to do the military when you graduate, it's probably a good thing to try this or to sign up for it and participate for a semester and see if you like, as you say, marching in line and that kind of things.
And like we all know, this is a voluntary, we have a voluntary military. And it's
Right.
not for everybody. It just isn't. But at the same exact time, like I tell all the young folks, take a look at all of your good options. There's good options out there, but you might not know about. Take a look, give yourself a chance to shop around a little bit, and you come on in there and say, hey, guess what? I'm not having it. We understand that. But then we also have young folks that come in and they stay for 3 or 4 years saying, I can't believe I really enjoyed this, did a lot for me. I was down there in Mooresville, North Carolina, they had an inspection. And you talk to those young folks and you have those kids who said, I didn't know about this 4 years ago. And now they're on their way off to trade school, off to college. A few go to the military, but the majority don't. But at the end of the day, you're hearing about their life plan, their journey, respect for themselves, respect for the community. My job's done here.
There you go. There you go. Well, if you can, Lieutenant Colonel, hang around. I'll bring you back at the end of the show if we can, just for a 5-minute wrap up. If you can hang around, I appreciate it. And Tammy, we got a great second guest coming on. If you want to bring Brooke in, Brooke is she's new to our community and is going to be a bigger face as time goes on. Thank you for joining us, Brooke. I appreciate that. Brooke, I know you probably, you already met a lot of people around the community, but a lot of people still haven't met you yet and don't know you. Got a great story. Your dad had a great story. I think, your heart's in the right place in trying to, in not trying, but actually succeeding in the things that you're doing with the Joel Fund and the center that you're going to put here in Rolesville. Kind of describe yourself. Give us a little short bio, who you are, how do you relate to the community, and kind of those type things.
Sure. Thank you so much for inviting me to participate in your podcast. It's great to be here. So again, I'm Brooke Dickhart, Executive Director of the Joel Fund. We are a local nonprofit that I started in honor of my dad. So just to kind of give a shout out to what Mr. Clark was saying, go Navy. So my dad was a Navy SEAL for 20 years. He served on SEAL Team 2 and he was a plank owner. He was an original member of SEAL Team 6. My dad served 4 tours in Vietnam. And in 2014, he lost his battle with PTSD. So he, I think, carried a lot with him. His doctors never explained to me what was going on. He couldn't talk about it. And so when he passed away, I felt like the rug had been ripped out from under me. I didn't understand what had happened. I was very angry and just wanted to just try to make things better for other families so that they didn't go through what we went through. In the beginning, I tried to volunteer with some organizations, but a couple of times I heard, oh, we're not taking volunteers. So I started to process everything we had been through. And I tried to think about, what would have made this journey better for us. And so I took that and I just started meeting with people. I'm originally from Virginia Beach, which is where my dad was stationed. And all of my military contacts were back in Virginia. So I started to network here in the Triangle, started to tell my dad's story, and started to really try to understand the veteran landscape here in our area and what was needed and how I could take what I went through and what was needed and combine them. And so we launched the Joel Fund. We became an official 501c3 in 2016.
Yeah. So, I'm sure, 16, this 24, 8 years, probably that vision has developed. I wouldn't say changed, but probably has developed over 8 years and probably, different a little bit. So what was the vision when you said, I want to do this nonprofit? What is your vision at the time and what is your vision now?
Sure. That's a great question because it has definitely evolved. When I first started, I didn't know much about running a nonprofit. So I figured, okay, well, we'll do throwing events I can do. My background is actually in hotel restaurant management. So I can do events. I always thought I was going to move back to the beach and work in a hotel, but I've planned lots of events. So we started having fundraising events, and we donated that money to nonprofits that were running programs to help veterans. And as we progressed with that, after about a year to a year and a half, we started to see some gaps in services in the area and decided to try our hand at running our own programs. And so one of the very first things that I recognized was that when we were going through everything, I never had someone to sit me down and say, here are all the options that are available for your dad. It was take these pills, go to group therapy. Well, those didn't work for my dad. And so I have made it my goal to network with groups across the state to understand what they do, how they serve our veterans and military communities and their families, and then work one-on-one with veterans who are looking for services to connect them to those resources. So we call it a warm referral. It's not, I don't just give out a business card for another organization. We will, send an email that includes both the organization's contact and the veteran and introduce them to each other. And then there's also some accountability on both sides. I know that organization is going to reach out to the veteran, or the veteran can reach out to that organization, but they get that warm introduction, and we refer them to organizations that we know they're going to do what they say they're going to do. So that's our Operation Connect. That's the biggest part of what we do. And then the other thing that we started shortly, probably about 2 years in, was Operation Art. So my dad used art to heal, and I went to an art school growing up. It was something that I always related to him on. My mom used to tell me, you get your art skills from your dad. And my dad was gone my whole childhood. So having that one thing to hold on to and feel like I shared with him, it was things that we could talk about. I sent him my art. An art program just felt very natural to start in his honor. And it's about teaching our veterans and their family members how to find the beauty in everyday life. Everything we do is about creating community. And so we want, the veterans to get together and the family members to be with their peers. They can share stories. We mentor our instructors to know that if you hear the veterans, the students telling stories, let that happen. They will still learn an art skill. But most important, they need to connect to people. And I say that because with everything with my dad, if I had known then what I know now, one of the first signs that I would have been able to identify was the isolation. And so we are constantly doing things to bring veterans into the community and to get them connected to their peers. So that's kind of how we've evolved over the last few years.
Yeah. So it's a full-time job for you now. That's all you do. I think, you just work for the nonprofit, and it's a small group. I think you said, what is about 4 people, 4, 5, 6 people, something like that. Yeah. And so, did you just wake up one morning and said, this is what I'm going to do? Or did you were doing things and it just got more and more, and then the vision got bigger and bigger and grew bigger and bigger, and you ended up being a full-time, endeavor, really?
Right.
Is that, which way did it go? Did you wake up, or?
It just evolved. Honestly, if I'm being completely transparent, it started as a way for me to heal. I needed to do something to help others because of what I went through. And it evolved because we realized we were doing so much good. We realized that our approach was working, and we just kept pushing with that and listening to the needs of the community we were serving. So it has grown. It is a full-time job. We have 4.5 employees, so 4 full-time, 1 part-time. We're getting ready to hire another part-time employee. And we have over 10 artists who contract with us to teach classes. So it has been an amazing ride. It's been bigger and better than I ever could have dreamed. But several years ago, I started to see a need for a veteran community center. I grew up going to community center my whole childhood, participated in activities and that sort of thing. And I gained a lot from that. And so I started to have this idea of this veteran community center where they could come and, be around their peers and take classes, anything from benefits assistance to social enrichment, housing assistance, legal assistance, all kind of under one roof. And so we started looking at properties, and last year we found the land in Rolesville, and just how embraced we've been in the last year by the town of Rolesville has been incredible. And we hope to open phase 1 of our Veteran Community Center in late summer of 2025. And then phase 2, we're going to do a new building. It's going to be about a 6,000 square foot building. The first floor is going to be open community space. We will have a couple of private offices for veterans to meet with counselors or veteran service officers. And then upstairs, we're going to have 4 apartments for veterans in need. So we currently work with homeless veterans. We've been delivering furniture to veterans as they transitioned out of homelessness for about 5 years now. But we want to do more. The veteran homeless population is on the rise. We do a lot of work with Wake County Veteran Services and Wake County Housing to learn about the needs and to, as I said in the beginning, I'm always trying to find the gaps and fill those gaps. So this is going to be something that just another way that we can help our veterans.
Yeah, we're excited about having you in town ever since I first heard about it. And I think, I don't think I had really placed what the Joel Fund was until, we started talking about coming to town. And then, my knowledge of it grew more and more. But you're in a good location. You're right in downtown. So I don't know if we got a map or anything. I don't know if Tammy has anything to show, but you're right in downtown, which is a great location near Cobblestone. Are you excited about the location and where you want to be at? Is that a plus for the center?
Absolutely. It is everything I wanted it to be. So a lot of our veterans do not have transportation. So we are at the intersection of West Young and Main Street, and right next to Cobblestone Village. What's so amazing is when our veterans are there, if they use the microlink or however they get to us, they can also walk to restaurants, some of the retail that will be opening in Cobblestone. The park is right there. The grocery store is walkable. Everything is right there. All of their needs will be in walking distance or, a short ride away. And that to me is so important for them to be in a community that's supportive, where they can integrate into the general community, but yet still have that core community center for their, veteran benefits and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know some of the veterans, some of the local veterans around here. I saw some, this week. Monday was, Veterans Day, and we had a get together then. So I know some of them. I know they're really excited about it. A lot of them are really excited about it coming to town. Going to be right here, but I think you draw people from a pretty good distance. Maybe how far the people come to go here. And how many? What's the rate of folks per week? I mean, how many people use the center? I know to start day one, it probably won't happen, but 3 years from now, once you get all your center open and it's fully running with all the staff and all, how many people you see using the center per week?
That's a good question. Well, right now we run multiple classes per week, and the number of students ranges anywhere from 4 to 10 to 12. And then we have our veterans coffee once a month, and we usually have about anywhere from 10 to 18 people in person, but that we do hybrid. So we have a lot of people who call in. So I think right now where we are, we're tucked back into a neighborhood, so no one sees us. I think our new location, it's going to be very visible. I think we're going to have people who stop in to see what's going on. They're going to want to learn about what we do. So I think just that day-to-day foot traffic will for sure increase. But we have a lot of scheduled events, and they won't all happen at the same time. So I don't imagine there being more than 20 people there at any given moment for any duration, at least in phase 1. Phase 2 may be a little different, but I still don't imagine it being a whole lot more than that, for like an hour here, an hour there. But a lot of people will come through, I think, over the course of a week. Right now, we're serving about 2,000 veterans and family members a year. So just to kind of break that down, and we have veterans who come. So our catchment area is a 9-county region. So basically the triangle north all the way to Virginia. There are not many services in our northern counties. They're very rural. We have a lot of veterans who come down from Henderson and Oxford and Durham, who, come over from Durham, who want to participate in our classes or attend our coffees. And I don't anticipate that changing, because we're really door to door. We're only moving 7 minutes. So, and depending on which way you come, if you're coming up 401 or, 540, it's really not going to impact that drive.
That's great. So you're planning to open your first building in the summer of next year. And that will be, what will that first building be for? What will it serve?
So it'll initially be for all of our activities. So, our one-on-one meetings, our coffee events, we do another meeting. It's called our Veterans Military and Families Alliance. And basically we bring together the organizations who serve veterans so that they can learn about each other and know what other, services are out there. Then they know where to refer the veterans they're working to. We host that meeting once a month. And then we have all of our art classes. So all of that will still operate out of that first building while we are building phase 2. Once phase 2 is done, the building that we renovated will just be used for Operation Art. That's where all of our art classes will operate out of. And then our bigger vision is the historic home that's at 113 West Young Street. We are trying to get funds to update that, and we hope to make that our art gallery for our art students, and it open to the public so people can come in, see the artwork that our students create, but then also to learn the history of the building.
Well, that's good. I know that's a really old building per se. I know it's a lot of improvements been done over from the last 200 years. I think it dates back to the 1700s. I think. So I believe a lot of people are going to be excited if you can manage to use that rather than to replace it. So that's really great.
It is the plan. It is absolutely the plan, and we've been working on trying to get it into the National Registry, or at least on the study list. And they asked me to look. So we just pulled back some of the aluminum siding and found that the original the wood paneling is underneath there, the wood siding. So I am very excited to be able to look for some of the other original materials that they're asking for, because there have been some updates over the years, but I think they still exist, and I'm looking forward to finding them.
Well, that's great. It's very exciting times. Very exciting, having you coming in town, your organization coming in town, and like most nonprofit organizations, it all hinges on fundraising and raising money and those type of things. So talk a little bit before we break up on your fundraising, your needs, and how people can contribute to this. I know there's a lot of veterans things. I personally contribute to the different ones, and there's many. I mean, if you think about the Wounded Warriors and all those others that out there, it's many of them to contribute to. But if people put your organization in the mix, how can they do that?
Absolutely. And I would encourage them to do that too, because we are in their backyard, in their community. They can see their dollars at work. People can give financially through our website. We have a donate link, but we also encourage people to volunteer their time. That is another great way to get involved. I just presented at a career day event for some high schoolers, and I encourage the kids to get involved and to volunteer with us, because getting to meet the men and women who have served our country is one of the greatest things. For me, it's the best part of this work. People that I may not normally get to cross paths with, I get to do it every day. And it's some of the most amazing people. And so if you're not able to give financially, give your time. come out. We have a link on our website where they can register to volunteer, come work an event. We just hosted a family game night recently where we had a bunch of volunteers out there helping with that. And as we get closer to being on the land, we'll have even more opportunities.
Well, that's great. I think, Tammy, our time is running short here. 20 minutes go by fast. I tell everybody that. And I think Tammy will be coming back in. Anything you want to say to the community before we kind of wrap up, Brooke? And I don't know, Tammy, if there was any questions coming in, any comments coming in, but anything you want to close with, Brooke? I
just encourage people to reach out if they're interested in learning more. Our website is www.thejolfund.org, and they can email or call us. But definitely reach out if they want more information.
Great. Anything you want to add, Tammy?
Again, thank you so much for what you do for the veterans. My dad is a veteran, and appreciate all that you do for your heart, from your experience. This does mean so much because our veterans, they are out there. Some of them have no one to care. So for your giving heart. So thank you so much. And we're excited for you for the summer, for the new building. So anything we can do, please reach out to us. We would love to help you.
Thank you so much.
Exactly. Tam, you can drop the Lieutenant Colonel back in if you want to, if he's still with us.
There he is.
Yeah, there he is. But yeah, Tammy, Brooke, you are part of the community. So, we're going to have to get you plugged into all the community stuff. So, you really are. So good to have you. Thank you for thank you for picking Rolesville, really. Just a warm thank you for picking us as being, your future home for your organization, and really thank you. And Lieutenant Colonel, thank you for giving our high schools consideration. Like you said, we got a good football team, but we want to be known for a lot more than that, a lot more opportunities, and really, I think your program offers opportunity. Whether people are not all playing football and sports and stuff, and it really allows kids to have more opportunities. And I think we've got like 2,200 kids out there, so it's a lot of them, and we just like to have choices. So thank you very much. Any closing comments, Tammy? Anything that came in from online? I do want to encourage everybody to think about the activities between now and the end of the year. We talked about the Christmas parade the chamber will be hosting the first Sunday of December, and then our tree lighting, which is December the 2nd. Both of y'all invited to come, so I hope you guys around can come. Any closing thoughts, Lieutenant?
Just one thing. It's just excited to be part of something big. This is, like I said, this is a program that the community will embrace. It is something that the children will embrace. I just look forward to being part of it in my managerial way. But just know, I'm right over here in Wickfield Plantation. So if you need me, I'm right there to help. So
yeah,
I'm just absolutely excited about this and can't wait for it to get started. And thank you so much, Ms. Dick, about what you talked about the veterans. Those services are just so important. I had the privilege of serving for Wounded Warrior Battalion for 3 years of my life, and I saw what these different programs do for them. Okay, I'm not an artist, but I tried, and I know how it really helps you to look inside and get some real things. It pulls a lot of things out you think was inside of you. So thank you so much for doing what you do, and I got to stop by there myself.
Yeah, please do that. You qualify, I think, 23 years, in the military, I think you qualify.
Yes, sir.
So just be sure to do that. And Brooke, I really, like I said, thank you for coming on. I wanted to make a show, sort of informational, sort of futuristic for veterans and people that, veteran families. And, I think a lot of time, kids of veterans probably do ROTC programs and things like that, more likely, So, I kind of wanted to bring it all together, and I think you guys have been great guests, and really appreciate both of you being on. Anything you want to add, Brooke, at all?
No, I'm just excited. I think the timing of the cadet program coming to town, if it, all aligns with us opening our center, I think there's going to be some great synergy and ways that we can also work together. So I look forward to that too.
Yeah, I am. It's exciting times. Growing Rolesville, and we're really exciting times. So Tammy, thank you for being with us tonight. I know, I know you guys at the chamber has a lot going on, so we'll be looking for that too as we go forth. And really thank you, and appreciate everybody coming on. Great show. This is a great show. I think we did justice for our veteran effort here for Veterans Month and Veterans Day, and just want to thank everybody for participating, and hope the people watching really enjoyed it. I know a couple comments came through there, so really do appreciate it. So Tammy, unless you got something, I think we will do a countdown. So thanks everybody. Appreciate you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great night.
Take care. Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. I think appreciate y'all hanging on. We really want to apologize for the kind of the start there. I know Tammy was sweating. I was sweating. We was all sweating. I think we'll have to talk to Peter. Peter set all this up, and then he went out to dinner. So, but we figured it out. I don't know if anybody watching really mattered to them. I think we did a good job. We had.
I think it came together perfect.
Yeah.
Yes, it did. It did.
I think we did a really good job. So just want to appreciate that. Anything you want to add, Tammy, before we let everybody go? But
just thank everybody, for the patience, for coming on. It's a pleasure, meeting you both. I look forward to meeting you in person. And again, anything that the chamber can do to assist you in your efforts, please do not hesitate to let us know. We're there, for the community. We're there to assist you. So please, we'd love to get the word out. With the influx of, people coming into Rolesville, we want to make sure that everybody knows about you and your efforts and all that you do.
Right. Well, thanks a lot. I won't keep you, but thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Stay in touch, Lieutenant Colonel. Or anything come up, you let me know. And Brooke, I'll be seeing you around town a lot. So,
I just want to make sure for the grand opening of the center that if we have the color guard that we're invited. I want to make sure that we're getting out there.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Doing the right thing. And like you said earlier, there's definitely opportunities for the young folks to be involved in that, because